What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, after Solana saw a bug that caused a 4.5-hour halt to the blockchain in order for them to fix it, we of course did see Solana's price absolutely tanking. Now, this is one of, this I think is the 4th or 5th halting of the Solana blockchain just within the last about 12 months. And so, of course, for that reason, many people are starting to get pretty pissed and pretty annoyed with what all is going on. So with that said, of course, in today's video, I'm going to let you guys know exactly what I'm seeing from Solana's price movement now that we have seen, it kind of slow down from that fall from yesterday, and what I am expecting from it going forward. Well, looking at Solana, of course, we can see the result of that halting. That did lead Solana to, of course, see just over the last day about a 13% drop, which is quite substantial when we're talking about a cryptocurrency that is within the top 10. But as this has now happened, we can start to see the structure that we have been tracking still holding up quite well. And so for that reason, we're going to talk about why this is Solana's really last chance to finally see a bounce back to the upside before we do see this eventual crash to what I am expecting to be $35 to $30. So looking at this thing, what we've been tracking over the last week or so has been two key points of support and resistance. This key point of support was the 618 to 786 box from, of course, our original fall on May 12th all the way up to the pump that we saw on May 15th. When we saw the swing low to swing high event, we drew out a Fibonacci from, again, that swing low to that swing high, which gave us this 618 to 786 golden zone between $42 and $39.45. What we know is that if the price of Solana is going to bounce to the upside, it is going to have to happen off of this zone. If we lose this zone, more often than not, we will revisit the lows that we created whenever we put in this range low down here. What this means is that if you lose the 786 level, almost always you will come back down to your previous point of support. We can see what happened back here, right? When this strong bounce back here, in which, as we did get this original capitulative low, we then went ahead and put in a bounce. We then drew out our Fibonacci's, and you can see that every time we came down to this level, we bounced, and then eventually we came down to the 786 level, held it as support, and that was the point in which we did start to see some explosive moves off the top side. So it's not uncommon for Solana to come down to the 786 level, 618 level, multiple times before bouncing, but if we do lose it and we get closes below it, it will almost always continue to crash towards the downside. So for that reason, it is extremely important that on this shorter time frame, we completely pay utmost attention to how Solana interacts at this $39.45 level. If history does repeat itself and this holds, I am expecting a strong push towards the upside, but realistically, if we do see this fail again, I am expecting this push towards $35. So the way in which I am going about it is I am going to start to track, what are our technicals doing? What are our indicators saying? And should we start preparing for a short trade? Because it does seem as if this fall may happen soon. What we can see is that on our RSI, we are getting a drive of bearish divergence in which we have gone ahead and put in the highs and the higher highs, and we have put in these highs and these lower highs. That is a sign of bearish divergence. And whenever you mix that in with the fact that we're really not seeing any bullish divergence by saying this higher low and this higher low here, it says that the bears do seem to still be in control. While they are still in control and we are seeing that as well, we can also see that our MACD is struggling to gain momentum. It does seem to be pointing more in a bearish direction again here, which is also another sign that we could see a fall relatively soon. Last but not least, looking at the daily Bollinger Bands, you can see we did get a rejection off that 20 SMA, which does usually lead us to see a continuation back towards the downside as well. So for all of those reasons, it does seem as if Solana is in a position to continue this crash to the downside, and what I am expecting to be, about a 12 to 13% continuation of this fall to the $35 to $30 level. Now, realistically, the only way in which we get out of this, the only way in which we will stop this from happening is if we do not get any daily closes below $39.45 and we hold it as support and use it to come back up to re-clear this key point at $48. If we do go ahead and just get rid of all these drawings and look at this from a structural based perspective, you can see that there is still the opportunity for us to put in some type of W bottom here. But it will be absolutely crucial that the only way in which we will be able to see that happen is, first and foremost, we need to break this key trend line that we've been trapped within for about 2 weeks now, in which, we are still a good bit away from. We're probably about $4 or $5 away from. And then we need to get back above $47 to $48. If we're capable of breaking both this trend line and the $47 to $48 level, at that point, it does invalidate the idea that we are probably going to fall to the downside, and it starts to say that there's a much stronger chance of us coming back up to, again, retest this macro trend line, okay? But at the end of the day, while we are below this trend line, while we're below $48, We are in a position that I am expecting this crash towards $35 once we start getting daily closes below $39.45. So for that reason, I am going to go ahead and start to prepare a short trade. My current short trade is going to look like me going in and shorting Solana once we do start to see the price fall and hold and close below $39.45. My breakdown target is going to be right to about $35 to $36, in which I am looking to take profits. And if I do go in on about 2x leverage, I'm expecting somewhere around, 16 to 20% in gains, of course, depending on where we close that position. On that trade, I will have a stop loss set back above this macro high, or this short-term macro high at least, around $48, just in case I am wrong and we get a strong bounce. Once we clear this level, I am expecting that to be the beginning of an uptrend, and so I would go ahead and close my short position if at any given point we re-cleared $48 back up here. Again, it doesn't mean I don't support Solana, but at the end of the day, it does mean that I am expecting this thing to fall based off of our indicators and based off of the loss of this key level of support. And so if that does happen, I am of course looking to make gains and take advantage of this market in any way in which I can. And so that is my current outlook and game plan on what to do if we do fall below $39.45, which it very possibly seems we may. Now again, if we do get to bounce to the upside, remember I am not buying and I'm not getting excited until we first clear the trend line and second clear $48. And from that point, then I would start to look for us to get back into this descending wedge that we have been tracking over the last few weeks. Remember, the big picture here is that we want to get back within this wedge, have a fake out to the downside, which does usually follow by a breakout to the upside. But at the end of the day, we have to start off by simply just getting back above $48. So with that said, that's realistically about it for today's video. It's going to be simple. It's going to be easy. I'm looking for a short trade if we lose $39.45. I'm looking to go long if we do clear $48. No problem. Keep it as simple as I possibly can. Of course, I do all of these trades live in a Patreon, and so that link is down below. If you want to check out all the trades I do of course let me know just simply by putting it in the comment section or by signing up for the Patreon. And of course, I will update you guys as soon as I possibly can. But with that said, that's going to be about it for today's video. And of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you can always let me know simply by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. And I will see you all next time. Peace.